Caitlin Clark is not just a basketball player. She is a movement, a force, and perhaps the most influential athlete the WNBA has seen in decades. Every time she steps on the court, fans watch with anticipation. Every decision she makes ripples through the basketball world. But what Caitlin Clark just did, this massive, calculated, and game-changing decision, isn't just about her career. It's about the future of the WNBA, and it could redefine how the league functions, how athletes are treated, and how the business of women's basketball moves forward. From the moment she declared for the WNBA draft, there was already buzz that Clark wasn't going to be your typical rookie. She entered the league with record-breaking college numbers, unprecedented media attention, and a brand power that rivaled NBA stars. Everyone in the Indiana Fever camp knew they weren't just drafting a player, they were drafting the future of the league. But no one, not even the league's top executives, expected the seismic impact she'd make in such a short amount of time. Caitlin Clark's decision didn't come overnight. It was months in the making, built on sleepless nights, business meetings, heart-to-heart conversations, and careful analysis of the state of the WNBA. What pushed her to act wasn't just her own treatment, it was the way the league operated. From travel conditions to salary structures, from inconsistent officiating to media narratives. Clark realized she had the voice and platform to do what few before her dared to do: speak out, demand change, and take real steps to force it. The first domino fell when Clark declined a massive marketing opportunity tied directly to the WNBA's central promotion team. On paper, it was a lucrative deal: promotion across league-wide platforms, joint brand appearances with league legends, and features that would guarantee even more mainstream attention. But Clark turned it down. Why? Because she wanted full control over her image, her message, and her brand. She believed that the WNBA's promotional system was outdated and often failed to support individual player stories, especially those who didn't align with certain internal politics. Clark's refusal sent a message. She was not going to be the league's puppet. She was going to be a partner, not a pawn. And the league was going to have to adapt. But that was only the beginning. The next bombshell came during a private meeting. With Fever executives and WNBA officials, Clark made it clear she wanted transparency, not just in her team, but throughout the league. She called for clear outlines of revenue sharing, demanded improvements to charter travel policies, and advocated for mental health support for all players, including rookies, who often face the pressure of performance without the resources. To navigate the spotlight, most notably, Clark also raised concerns about the lack of consistency in officiating and player safety. After repeated hard fouls during her rookie games, many of which went either uncalled or received minimal penalties, she voiced what fans had already been screaming on social media. The WNBA had a fairness problem. Her critique wasn't just about herself. She highlighted the disparity in how rising stars versus veterans were treated, and how inconsistent enforcement of rules was affecting the integrity of the game. And then, Clark made the boldest move. Yet, she aligned herself with a private equity-backed coalition of investors, interested in reforming the WNBA from the outside. These weren't casual fans or minor influencers. This group included former NBA execs, high-powered agents, tech entrepreneurs, and even global athletes. Their goal: push for structural reform in the league through legal channels, sponsorship, leverage, and media power. Clark's decision to publicly associate with this group didn't go unnoticed. League executives were stunned. Players were divided. Some viewed it as courageous, others worried it would create friction. But one thing was undeniable. Clark had just declared herself not only a player, but a reformer. What followed next was unprecedented in WNBA history. Clark began meeting with fellow WNBA players across teams, holding unofficial player voice meetings. These weren't union-sanctioned. They were grassroots, off the record, and deeply honest. Topics ranged from how black and white players are portrayed differently in media coverage, to how endorsements are unevenly distributed, to whether expansion was being handled responsibly by the league's upper brass. Clark wasn't leading these meetings with ego. She was listening, learning, and compiling insights. Soon after, Clark worked with her business team to launch a digital platform designed specifically to elevate WNBA voices. This platform would include player blogs, behind-the-scenes footage, honest interviews, and live Q&As entirely controlled by the players themselves. It would be a platform outside the WNBA's control, offering athletes a direct line to fans, brands, and media. Without the league acting as a gatekeeper, the move was radical and brilliant. Within weeks, several star players joined the platform. Sponsorship offers followed. Suddenly, players had a new way to monetize their brand without needing the league's permission. But perhaps the most impactful moment came during a post-game press conference after a nationally televised game, when Clark was asked about her growing role as a voice for change. Her answer was simple: "I didn't come here to fit in. I came here to elevate. If we're not trying to make this league the best in the world, then what are we doing? I want more for all of us." That single quote exploded across social media, igniting debates from ESPN panels to Twitter threads. And it resonated because it wasn't performative. It was real. Clark wasn't tearing the league down. She was holding it accountable. And she had the eyes and ears of the world while doing it. League officials scrambled to respond. In a surprising turn, WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert announced that several of Clark's demands were now being considered in upcoming CBA discussions. Charter flights would be expanded for back-to-back games. A new task force would review officiating standards. Player mental health programs would receive more funding, and a new advisory board, which would include current players, would be created to oversee future league decisions. None of these changes were guaranteed before Caitlin Clark stepped up. Her decision to risk backlash, to speak up so early in her career, and to use her platform for structural reform proved one thing: true power lies not in silence, but in boldness. Clark's influence has already started to reshape the league. Ticket sales are up, merchandising is at record highs, national broadcasters are fighting for more game rights. And yet, perhaps the most exciting thing isn't what she's done, it's what comes next. Because Caitlin Clark has made it clear, she's not done. Her mission is ongoing. She's committed to growing the game, empowering her fellow athletes, and building a WNBA that is respected not just as a women's league, but as a global powerhouse. Her decision wasn't just massive, it was historic, and it's already changing the WNBA forever. Ask ChatGPT.